Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again is Jason Juggling J. Ford. Big weekend.
Yeah.
Huge weekend. 174 not out. Got that?
It's got to be about 2 feet 3.
Well, they couldn't hit his stumps. It's not the first time.
No.
America's Cup moving into the semifinal stages of the preliminaries.
Oh, that's been exciting.
Yeah. Cricket season underway.
Another thrilling match.
Nail biter. Davis Bay know how to do it, doesn't he?
Oh, man, fans are not happy right now.
Yeah, Tyler Butterfield winning Ironman.
In Carolina.
Yeah. Tyler Smith finishing third in a UK elite triathlon.
We're waiting to hear that news.
Yeah. Trey Houston competed
Stop. Let's go to commercial.
Oh, no. I just want to give you the highlights because I know
then,
people are going to want to hang around when they hear all this stuff.
Well, there's so much more to talk about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's get a message from our sponsor.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, when you heard 174 not out, 14-year-old, batting 50 overs from start to finish, your thoughts?
Typo. Let's be honest, typo.
Not to be.
But, no, when I actually reflected back on it 2 shows ago, and we talked about it was 100 even after batting 3 whole innings. Well, I just repeated that 3 whole innings. And remember, his team was in trouble of some sort, so he had
44 for 5.
Had to hang around.
Yeah.
This time I was a little bit more free-flowing. When athletes, even though just erases age for the moment,
Right.
when athletes get in a good nick, especially in the game of cricket, most batsmen could tell you they see the ball as a pumpkin or a basketball.
Yes.
Everything looks huge for them. And when they get in these good nicks, it's a joy to watch. Now, let's factor in this age now. 14 years old. The patience, once again, you're talking about now 100 overs, and nobody's been able to get him out. 100 overs. That's got to say a lot, not just for a 14-year-old, but just in a cricketer in general. So to no matter what league it is, you're talking at least 2, maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah, pretty much. Increase, yeah.
Looking at 5 hours.
Well, the one thing I took from it in a conversation with my son, who's the same age as Marcus, is they're playing 50 overs at the age of 14. We're playing 35.
Well, this goes back to a subject that I think the BCB has been battling for years. You will know in the late 80s, well, especially in the mid-80s, and just I do believe into the early 90s, we had the Shell competition.
Yes, we did.
Which was a 50-over league, not based around the clubs itself, but based around the parishes.
Parishes, yeah.
Which took away from the club element per se. But if you look at the generations of the Dexter Basins, the Darren Lewis's, the Albert Steeds, that generation there, the Olin Jones, the Richard Bastons, the Gladwin, Ednis, and the likes. Yeah. I was a youngster coming through, but this is what prepared us at the time for coming through because we almost, I won't say we worked enough at playing at that format. It was easy to transition going into the senior side. Now, to learn, like I said, to bet out the overs and do all these different applications that you need in today's game, I think was probably almost selling some of these youngsters a bit short right now. Just for the evolution of the game. I think it's probably even a harder job now for the BCB because we're playing in different formats.
Yes.
You know, instead of and I think they were talked about bringing back open cricket, which helps for the development of players.
Yeah.
But also, we have found the opposite of that. Also, some of the youngsters are not able to get into those sides when it's open cricket.
Right.
So it's you can see where they've been battling for years. Does England have it right? I don't know, because their cricket had fell down a bit. It started to raise back up. Did Australia have it right about 4 or 5 years ago? Probably.
At the senior level, they were doing. Yeah, they were patting them on the back.
People were patting their infrastructure around the Australians.
Yes.
At one point in time, it was India.
Yes.
It was not too long ago.
Yeah.
So, I think it's always will be a work in progress. But I think probably another analysis need to be taken of our talent pool from probably as young as 8.
Right.
Right. What potential of the and how we start grooming kids for these formats if we want to get serious into getting back up into Division 2, 1, and Hill Lakes.
Well, I have to say congratulations to Marcus Scotland, and stay to the wicket, because definitely more runs will come. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, being at more cricket, let's jump right to the start of the 50-over domestic league right here in Bermuda. Obviously, Bayless Bay would have wanted to redeem themselves from last weekend's 2020 final against St. David's, and they had the opportunity taking on another arch rival, Southampton Rangers, at Seabreeze Oval.
Well, Earl, once again, a thrilling match.
That's how you want to put it down?
That's my word for the week.
Okay.
7 days and counting.
Okay.
It's when you look at the scores, and I keep saying it, when you look at the scores, it reflects on where we are in today's cricket. Barely 4 runs and over. You're just going over 200 runs. Some teams think that's enough, but on a field like Bailey's Bay, that's very obtainable.
Right.
If you just stay to the wicket, no matter what side you got.
Right.
With the likes of Malachi Jones coming back into the squad, and then obviously was revealed why he wasn't for the 2020 final. Because him and Aronde Bascom, who would have been playing for St. David's, were watching our key in England.
Yeah.
So welcome him back, but scored a valuable 70 out of that 200 odd runs.
Dropped 4 times.
But dropped 4 times.
Sure.
So I know Rangers would be pretty upset of their fielding exploits, but pretty happy how the game turned out. When you look at people like Rohan Simons, who, he dabbles in a lot of sports.
Yes.
And you can never knock the competitive side out of Rohan, no matter what sport it is. When he's in, whether it's football or track or cricket, he's in it to win it.
Right.
And I've seen him save a few games for Rangers just with that calming spirit.
Right.
And he really helps out the lower order of the innings. You look at someone like Alex Dorr, who you're starting, I won't say, you're almost expecting Alex to at least get 30. Still remember this is a youngster.
Yeah.
But we're expecting him to just automatically get 30.
Carry the weight. Yeah.
And it's done quite well over the last few years. But in saying Bayless Bay, you really got to be upset, because knowing the domination of St. David's,
you don't want to fall behind, man.
Even though it's the first game.
Yeah, you don't want to be falling behind.
That means now they have to hope that St. David's has a bad day, which they possibly can. I mean, you got to look at Rangers and St. David's have some good games.
Right.
I remember one year, it could have been last year, the year before, Rangers beat them St. David's, and St. David's beat them up Rangers, or something very similar.
Yeah.
So things can happen. And they're looking at still Janera Tucker still to come in.
Yeah.
So that can be very positive. A good inclusion to the Southampton Rangers side is Lamont Brangman.
Yes.
Mungie, coming in from Devonshire Recreation Club.
Him and Dean Stevens are a valuable added to that team.
Yeah, and they're not just with the ball, but also with the bat. And they're very valuable. So I think Rangers, every year you want to say count them out because of some older guys in the squad, but they seem to keep picking these guys.
Yeah.
These old veterans. A couple of years ago was Hassan Dorn.
Slugger there.
Yeah, Slugger at one point in time.
Yeah.
So even Vernon Eve.
Curtis Jackson.
Yeah.
Lee Ford helps. And they would joke about it too. They would really joke about it as well.
But so it's going to be quite interesting how this 50 over will play out in the next couple of weeks. And Davis had a fairly easier game against Cleveland County, even though Cleveland County got those 3 late transfers, which I think that's really going to put a damper on the Western Stars unit. Even though they got a victory over Somerset, which was very, for the first 50-over match, to see the opponent captains of Somerset play against the team they basically grew.
Yeah.
And a lot of youngsters who they brought into the team.
Left them on them.
Sure. But you also see the quality of spin bowling from Jacoby Robinson.
Yeah.
And I will keep saying this for years. I mean, we talk about stats, but if anybody goes back and look at the top wicket takers over the last 5 to 6 years,
he's up there.
He's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah. And for a bowler who's changed his action
from pace spin to spin.
Boy,
I ain't giving you some of the people nothing.
You know, you gotta be caught that season. He said he's praying that he's not gonna play this year.
I'm praying he does.
Yes.
Sure. Take one of these stumps and hit it side.
But no, it's interesting, 'cause like I said, we're coming into that, you know, even though this is the first week of 50 over matches, we're looking at potential players going into cup match.
Yeah.
Because cup match trials used to be started around this time.
I know.
But I think they're going to be starting very shortly.
Yeah, I believe they are.
Cup match train, I know it's on the docket.
Right.
But now it's just a matter of just getting the players.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Jay? Let's get the roundup of the Premier and First Division matches that took place on Sunday. Western Stars defeated the Somerset Cricket Club in Premier Division cricket by 4 wickets. Western Stars won the toss at St. John's Field and sent Somerset Cricket Club to bat. They were bowled out for 144 in 38.5 overs. Joshua Gilbert was their top scorer on 32, while Jacoby Robinson bowled 7 overs. He had 2 maidens, 3 for 22, to lead the Western Stars bowling attack against his former teammates. In reply, Western Stars scored 145 for 6 after 35.4 overs. Trey Manders was their top scorer with 71. Azar Morrissey was the pick of the Somerset Cricket Club bowlers when he returned figures of 2.4 overs, 2 for 12. Southampton Rangers defeated Bailey's Bay by 3 wickets. A nerve-wracking end to a game that saw visitors Rangers bowl Bailey's Bay all out for 218. This after Bailey's Bay had won the toss and elected to bat. Former Southampton Rangers player Malachi Jones was their top scorer with 70. Jones was dropped 4 times during his innings. He was given a life on 17, 21, 30 and 45, but he was undone when 16-year-old Teo Smith took a return catch to dismiss him. Lamont Brangman was the pick of the Southampton Rangers bowlers with figures of 10 overs, 3 for 30. Southampton Rangers scored 219 for 7 after 49.5 overs. Alex Dorr was their top scorer with 54, with Kyle Hudsell returning bowling figures of 10 overs, 3 for 52 for Bailey's Bay. Over to the First Division, St. George's Cricket Club won by 3 wickets over Somerset Bridge. Somerset Bridge batted first at the Wellington Oval and were bowled out for 127. Chris Jackson was their top scorer with 27, while Detroit Smith led the St. George's Cricket Club bowling attack with 10 overs, 3 for 38. In reply, St. George's got a 6th wicket partnership between player-coach Ryan Steed and Chris Fogo that rescued the home team and guided them within reach of victory, as St. George's scored 130 for 7 after 29 overs. Steed was the top scorer with 46, while Fogo was 28 not out. Taylor Keynes was the pick of the Somerset Bridge bowlers with figures of 7 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 23. Warwick Workmans went down by 6 wickets to Willicott's. Batting first, Warwick Workmans were bowled out for 120. Sonori Boys Simons was the top scorer with 24, while Kwesi James was the pick of the Willicott's bowlers with figures of 7 overs, 1 maiden, 4 for 15. In reply, Willicott's would score 121 for 4. Shaquille Otterbridge and Chakotay Wainwright Baston were their top scorers with 26 each. Stephen Dill was the pick of the Warwick Workmen's bowlers with figures of 4 overs, 3 for 26. Batting first on the home wicket, PHC recorded a 59-run win over Devonshire Recreation Club. PHC were all out for 226, with Dean Richards their top scorer on 64 not out. Jody Maroney was the pick of the Devonshire Recreation Club with figures of 7 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 25. In reply, Devonshire Recreation Club were all out for 167. Paul Carr Harvey was the top scorer with 52, while Jakari Hollis led the PHC bowling attack with figures of 5 overs, 3 for 22.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, on to the America's Cup up in Dockyard. The preliminaries are over. We're moving into the semifinal stages of the preliminaries. But actually, let's get a recap of the qualifiers that eventually saw Team France, Groupement Team France, eliminated from the 35th America's Cup.
20 seconds.
It is looking like a smooth operating machine right now.
Crowds here have been amazing. The whole setup here is nothing shy of spectacular. This is an overlap situation, and Japan's going to have to stay clear. Wow, that just happened really fast. They have an overlap. There can be a green flag.
Like he was heading straight for
And
them.
he gets him. He gets right around the inside. Oh, there's a collision, a big collision between the two boats.
So this is going to be very interesting. No doubt the protest will be lodged. Well, it's hard work. There's no mistaking that. The effort that these guys put in. That's why they're up early. They're home late. And the French holding off the Swedes in fine style. What a finish.
Race committee, just to inform you, we're retiring from this race.
I don't think they know cautious. It's not in their DNA. This is going to be very, very close yet again.
Pure drag race.
The Americans completing their qualifying campaign with another victory.
Well, Jay, you had that recap. New Zealand, Emirates Team New Zealand, put themselves in a position to pick who they wanted to face. It's been a huge debate on why they would take Land Rover BAR. My take on it is as simple as this. Sir Ben and his team are not at the top of their game yet. The best possible chance of you beating them would be now. Because if they were not to face them in the semifinal and they managed to get their stuff together and get through to the final of the preliminaries, they're going to be the toughest
You're looking for
outfit.
that extra race to get that stuff together.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
So the best thing to do is take a man while he's not got his stuff together, and I think that's why Emirates Team New Zealand have chosen to take on.
Well, very interesting enough. I mean, seeing this and this America's Cup, it gives you that little change of format. When we hear about quarterfinals and semifinals, and normally, number one will play number four, number two will play number three. Well, it's not like that in America's Cup.
Right.
The top seed gets to actually pick who they feel they can take advantage of at the time, and leads to Land Rover. But very interesting enough, a couple of shows ago, I mentioned that some of the favorites were being beating or what. But then I'm gonna learn now a lot of the stuff could have been just posturing.
Yeah. Put yourself in position.
Yeah, because we talked about the pedal power of New Zealand. Now just a few more days under the belt watching, they look far superior than mostly everybody that's out on the sound. And when the commentators are saying the boat's been up on the foils for the whole race.
100%. That's paddle power.
That's paddle power to keep the hydraulics up, the whole
Yeah.
nine, and the technology that goes into that. But in saying that, you can see even just the technical side of going around the buoys and stuff like that. Some of the teams very uncomfortable making a sharp turn or putting the ball in the water and stuff like that. So a lot of things technically that once you get in the water, next thing you know, you lost probably the momentum. You lost your momentum, and then plus you end up losing like 15 to 20 seconds of racing.
Right.
By that time, if somebody's on a constant 30 knot,
If start foiling like that, you race is over.
it's over.
Yeah. We've seen races won and lost before they start the race, right at the start line.
I was just gonna say,
Who has that momentum at the start? Who can hit that line at top speed and carry that momentum through? And we've seen the team that comes out of that gate second, 9 times out of 10, finishes second.
yeah, it's hard to get back because, like you said, you've seen where a lot of the strategizing just getting to the gate and also trying to block off somebody's momentum.
Yeah.
Now, you as a person who's sailed, your little punts on, your boats, but I wouldn't say cheating, but you know how to block.
Yes,
that's probably
you protect the line.
That's probably the only chance you had to be competitive.
Oh yeah,
I probably would have took it too.
I got that. I mastered that. Yeah, sure.
Because you wasn't probably great at sailing on open water, but you had to make sure that in the tight spaces you took up the line.
I took up sailing to make up the numbers. They needed one extra person each time, and I made that one. But I made a difference on the start line. I got a course fresh all the time, even though I had to do a circle.
I just gonna say,
Yeah.
But folks, like I said, coming to the semifinals, it's going to be quite interesting as these teams are looking to get to the finals. Oracle, they've got to be concerned.
I would be concerned if I was Team Oracle due to the fact that I now have to transition from race mode to training mode, but stay up and then watch these guys go through. You're going to use technology, but are you switching your mind on and off race mode? Can you get? And now it's pressure time because guess what's on the line? The auto mall.
Yeah.
It's not, we're through to these preliminaries anymore.
Yeah.
It's now the 35th America's Cup is up for grabs. Okay, we're one up already, but do I have that momentum going through?
And when you look, and I'm just losing the back end of this, what's also up for grabs is where you're gonna probably be living in the next 4 years.
Yeah. 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Well, they want to change it to 2 years, but that could change by a change of the hands of the
Oh,
club.
no. That's what's agreed by all the teams. So it will be every 2 years.
But still, it could be in different locations.
Oh, yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're going to uproot your family, a
Yeah.
lot of things come into play.
That's right.
On whoever wins this
That's
cup.
right. Well,
But let's
I know-
talk about something about the weather, because
Well-
Mother Nature has played her part
Oh, yeah.
in the America's Cup.
Well,
She's
let me tell you something.
She's played her part.
A lot of people wanted to come to lovely, sunny, beautiful Bermuda, and they got that.
Oh, you've got that beautiful.
You've got that. You've got the fact that there will be days where we have absolutely no wind.
We've got that.
We've got days where we'll have high winds.
We've got that.
We've got days where the wind fluctuates, changes direction, changes the course of a race, and all of that. So Mother Nature has done its part in playing in the 35th America's Cup. But unfortunately, especially Sunday gone, the village was full of those weekend spectators in high anticipation of watching something they've never seen before with their own eyes, live in person. And Mother Nature had her say. The boats did go out on the water, and it was pretty much just sitting around for 2 hours and maybe 10 minutes. And then finally, officials said, we're not going to be able to.
And you say unfortunate because for the racing fans, the genuine racing fans, sailing fans, they'll be used to this.
Yeah.
This is something that happens.
Yes.
Probably on a weekly basis.
Right.
Some Wednesday night sailing doesn't go off like it's supposed
right.
to be.
Yeah.
This happens on a weekly basis here. Because sometimes we get 4 seasons in one day, as
That's right.
people say.
That's right. Yeah.
But for the casual fan who's going to see this spectacle probably once in his lifetime or once in a lifetime opportunity, that's a disappointing part because you didn't probably get to see, and you probably haven't booked another time to go see.
Time off from work.
Time off work.
Yeah.
So it's saying that it's a missed opportunity. But as far as the racing goes, that is racing, and in this sport, it comes with the territory.
Yeah, it does. Well, on to the semifinals.
This is going to be tough.
Well, Jay, on Saturday, at the National Sports Center Saturday evening. Bermuda played their North American Zone Championship rugby match against Cayman Islands. Was not the result they were looking for. Obviously, Bermuda was looking to bounce back from that 59-7 defeat at the hands of Mexico at the stadium. Cayman got off to an early start, stayed on top, up 17-0 at the half. Bermuda tried to make a comeback, but of course, in the end, 28-15. I got a chance to speak with the Cayman Island coach after the game, and I got a chance to speak with the Bermuda captain after the game, just asking them, obviously Cayman move on to play Mexico. We still have a game against USA South that we're going to try and avoid relegation from the division, but it's a lot to play for. Let's get the interviews with the Cayman Islands coach and the Bermuda captain. Obviously, you had seen the score from Bermuda, Mexico. You wanted to pick up a win because it's important that you try to stay above Bermuda. You came in, got the job done right off the bat. Getting settled, getting early tries, was that the object of getting ahead and keeping Bermuda down?
Yeah, I think so. Rugby's a game of momentum, and we saw in the first half that I think that Bermuda struggled with territory. You know, we kicked very well, we forced them back into their own half very well. And to be fair to them, in the second half, when they had some momentum and had some territory, they showed us the rugby that they could play. So definitely, if we hadn't had such a bright start and pushed them back and pushed them into the corners, then I think the game would have been a lot closer on the scoreboard. They showed they can play some rugby.
It would appear that the first half, your dominant performance, 17-0, Bermuda was struggling to get the ball out of their half a lot of times. But the second half kind of switched a little bit. Was it a bit of tiredness or just changing strategy for the second half?
I think in rugby you always get momentum swings. So Bermuda scored an early try. That gave them a lot of momentum. That gave them a lot of confidence. And I think they built on that confidence. I think rather than us doing something wrong, I think it was Bermuda actually stepping the game up a little bit.
Were you at any time worried because they scored 2 back-to-back tries right away, and obviously they missed the conversion, so it made it a little more easier, but were there times where you started to say, we need to make some changes?
I wouldn't say worried, I was disappointed. I think the first try was well worked, the second try was disappointing from our part. I think our defence needs to work a little bit harder than that. Maybe the players on the field felt that the game was over. The coaching staff certainly didn't. I thought that Bermuda fought well till the end, and you know, I wouldn't say the game was close at any point, but definitely Bermuda made us work hard for it.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much,
Well, obviously, a slow start, uphill battle right from the outset. Obviously, it's a bit disappointed to start that way, but happy with the fight back of the second half?
Oh, very happy with fight back, but you can't give a good team an 18-point start, can you? You know, it was unfortunate because we actually started pretty well, and it was you know, an interception, and you know, any time a good team gets turnover ball like that, you know, with some good powerful runners, you do put yourself at a lot of risk, and you know, twice it happened in quick succession, and they scored both of them, and you know, fair play to them, but obviously we wanted a good start. We wanted to get on the front foot, and that kind of knocked the wind out of our sails very early on. But you know, the boys dug in. They did a lot of defending in that first half, and you know, we'd worked a lot on our defence in training, and the boys were, you know, getting up off the line. They were you know, attacking Cayman and making their tackles, and you know, so I was really quite proud of that. But you know, I think when we got possession ourselves, the boys were so fatigued from defending, and you know, defending is incredibly tiring when you do it for a long period of time. Then, you know, we struggled to get the numbers of guys running lines so we could actually then do something with it. So first half was very difficult.
We have one more game left in this group, trying to avoid relegation. Obviously, USA South, tall order, but we're up for it.
We're up for it, absolutely. You know, we could take a lot out of this game. You know, we played quite well in that second half, in, you know, quite large patches of it, and you know, we're bringing in, you know, the younger guys as well, which is really pleasing, and they don't look out of place in the setup. So yeah, I mean, it's tall order. I mean, it's USA South. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but you know, we've got reasons to be relatively hopeful. Are we going to go into that game, you know, incredibly optimistic that we're going to put a big score on them? No, I mean, because they are a very good outfit. But we've got some things to work on. We've got some players to work on, and I expect us to go over there and put in a good performance.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks very much, Al.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, listening to the Bermuda captain talk about the youngsters, and this is an opportunity for them to learn. It's not ideal that we're losing, but it's an opportunity for them to get that exposure that's needed to, in the very near future, be the leaders of the team and bring in more youngsters.
Yeah, sometimes you need to take these war wounds.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take a 1,000 thin cuts. Sometimes it could be quite painful.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that they can come out of these competitions or these matches or these games with their head up.
Yeah.
Because they know. See, we talked about it before. What are the expectations of this particular team?
Right.
Obviously, as a country, you always want to. You always want to win.
Yes. Yeah.
But sometimes we got to be realistic of the competition that we have, and the team that we have, accordingly to the competition. And at this time, you mentioned a lot of youngsters. So you're going to get, anytime you have youngsters in any particular team in any sport, obviously they're not seasonal. So the likely for mistakes will happen far greater than if they were seasoned. That's where the experience comes in. But there can be times when they show glimpse of promise, show glimpse of, hey, wow, this is what we gotta look forward to. And I think if we concentrate on the positive side of it, because mistakes will happen.
Right.
I keep saying, sports is a game. Who makes the least amount of mistakes? But I think if we concentrate on the positive side and just keep working at that, then that also plays a part in people's or the opponents' fear.
Right. Yeah.
So be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we had a player who hadn't played for the national setup since his under-19 days. Brindley Toms, he now plays in Wales. His team had a remarkable season, Bedwas. Got a chance to talk to him on local soil after the game. So let's get that interview with Brindley Toms here at the National Sports Center on Saturday night. A person that we cover from Bermuda, but playing over in Wales. Obviously, Brindley, a try in your first senior cap. Pleasing, but not the result. What are some of the things you've been doing over there? I mean, I've kept up with what you guys have been doing. Remarkable season. What's been the process of your season to come away with some of the things that you guys were able to come away at Bedworth?
Well, I just think this year we've had a great team of group cohesion. So like every time we go into a team environment or a match, we're all together. There's no person that's on their own, nothing like that, and we work hard as a team. And it has showed the results this year. Like our best season we've had in the whole of the Premiership. So.
Was it a surprise, or was it something that coaching staff and the players worked at to ensure you guys gave your all as a unit?
I think it was definitely something we've been building toward the past few years. Like we've been there or thereabouts against the big teams in the last few seasons, but this year we just showed we can beat anyone on our day. And unfortunately it didn't go that way in the semi, but I think with a better start to the season next year, we have all the chance to win it.
Now let's talk about today. Obviously, special moment for you, first senior cap, but the result obviously again did not go the way you were looking for. But the performance, you've been away for a while now, and you've now come back and seen the boys, how they're matured into a unit. What did you think of the overall performance? I know you were playing; it's hard to judge it, but what do you think of the overall performance?
Well, I think as a team, there's a great bunch of lads here, and I think given a few years being together, I think we have more than any opportunity to beat these teams. Today maybe it wouldn't have gone our way, but I think it was the little percentages that maybe would have changed it. And to be fair to Cayman, they capitalised on everything today. They didn't let any score go begging. And I think that's maybe something we need to learn and work on.
How long do you plan to stay here? And obviously, family, friends. You haven't seen a lot of people for a long time, but back to work when you leave.
I'm here for another week, but I've had a word with some of the boys whether they'd try and get me to go to Atlanta or not with the team, but I haven't made my decision yet. But definitely come back if not this year, but next year to play with the boys again if I'm needed, and just every opportunity to come back I will.
Well, happy we got a chance to talk to you. We got your try on camera, so.
Oh, great. Pick it up.
Yeah. All the best. Well, Jay, on Saturday morning at the National Sports Center, it was a treat to see bronze medalist Tiara DeRosa back on home soil. She's had a year in Shaw University. Bringing with her coach at Shaw University. Got a chance to speak with Pompey. She's from Jamaica. Had a chance to really get into what she's looking to do with Tiara. She had a long talk with the local coach, Terrelyn Painter, and they actually had some strong words for young Tiara DeRosa about what they want to see her accomplish in the very near future and what it's going to take. So actually, let's get the interview with Tiara DeRosa and her Shaw University coach. Welcome home, Tiara. First long season in college. But first of all, how is school for you?
School's great. It's a wonderful experience. I love the independence, and I've received my 4.0 is actual official now, it's on my transcript. And it's just great. The classes are small. I have the one-on-one with the teachers, and they all know me and I know them. So yeah.
What about the sports side? Obviously, you're growing with more competition. Confidence is there?
My confidence grew a little bit more than before I left the island, and I would say this season was a great season for myself. I medaled in Carifta. I threw 47 meters, and ever since then I've been keeping in the 40-meter range, so I was good. But next year for sure I'm going to qualify for nationals.
Well, the lady standing next to you has helped you over the last few months. Can you introduce her for me?
Hi, yeah, this is my coach, Nadia Pompey from Jamaica, and she coaches at Shaw University. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Bermuda, first of all.
Thank you. This is actually not my first trip here. I've been here a couple times.
Okay. But you have been working with Tiara for some time now. What do you see in her, and how do you think you can encourage her to get better and stronger?
One of the things I see in her is that, she needs to work on her confidence, and she was kind of modest about her performance because she's more consistent in the 44 meters. But, as you see, she said 40 meters, just being modest. But she's a great talent. She has a lot of room for improvement. Once we get her stronger, more explosive, there's no reason the sky is not the limit for this young lady.
What are some of the things you want to be working on when you go back to ensure, especially for the outdoor season, that she's actually stronger physically and mentally, because that's a big thing for Bermuda?
So one of the things that I've been expressing to her is this fall I'll be breaking her down. There's going to be a lot of tears, a lot of crying, because what we'll do is we'll do a lot of hurdle jumps. I mean, she's been running from it all year, but we have the collapsible one, so we can gradually get her up there. So she's going to do a lot of plyometrics, she's going to do a lot of hurdle drills, some hill runnings, a lot of explosive. We're going to really put her in the weight room. She's going to do a lot of Olympic lifts and stuff to get her real stronger, get her core stronger. The abs, we're going to have her like on 500 ab diet every day. So once we build her up, she'll definitely have a great outdoor season.
Well, you heard from your coach, and probably not the first time you heard from her. What are you making sure you're going to be doing during the summer to ensure when you get back this becomes a little easier to take?
During the summer, to be working with my original coach, Coach Terry Painter, and she's gonna continue keeping me fit, trying to get a little bit more weight off so it could be easier to do those hurdle jumps. I can't believe this, but okay.
Obviously, you've met Terry, you've talked, you guys just finished having a conversation, and obviously I overheard confidence, and that's the one thing that we all talk about is confidence. Tiara, when you start throwing at a consistent thing, what are you doing to tell yourself I can do this more and more?
I just keep telling myself, come on, T, you can do this, you got this. I mean, you've been doing it all this time. Like, after a while, it becomes natural. So, you just got to do it naturally now.
All right, well, we'll look at you over the summer, and then obviously when you get back to Shaw University. Thank you both for your time.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Well, Jay, also Saturday, it proved to be a final trial for the young athletes selected to represent Bermuda at the NACAC Age Group Championships, which will take place in Trinidad in a few weeks' time. We got a chance to interview the president of the Bermuda National Athletic Association, Donna Rayner, and one of the coaches that will be taking the squad as they go. Let's actually get that interview at the National Sports Center on Saturday morning. Well, Donna, you have a team about to travel in the next few weeks, heading to the NACAC Age Group Championships.
To the NACAC Age Group Championship, the team will be departing June the 15th.
What are some of the events, and who are the people that have been selected to represent Bermuda?
Well, the event is a multi-event, and the age groups are 11 to 12 and 13 to 14. So in the 11 to 12, we only have one boy, his name Anaya West. In the 13 to 14 girls, we have Selah Tuzo and Sakasia Parsons. And in the boys 13 to 14, we have Sancho Smith and Nairobi Smith Mills. I'll let Mrs. Clark tell you the events that they will be doing.
Okay, the 11 to 13 boy, he will be doing the long jump, high jump, cricket ball, 1,000 meters, and a 60-meter dash. The 13 to 14s, they will be doing 80-meter hurdles, 80-meter dash. The boys will be doing the girls will be doing 1,000 meters. The boys will be doing 1,200 meters. Then they'll all be doing long jump, high jump, shot put, and cricket ball. So it's 7 events and 5 events.
Okay, so it's obviously it's individual, but it's accumulating points over the. Okay,
yes.
All right. What are some of the things they've been doing to prepare? Because multi events, it takes different technical stuff, and
yeah, it's amazing. Over the last 3 weeks, the kids have been training every day, Monday to Thursday, then competing on weekends. We've seen some athletes who couldn't high jump, who couldn't jump more than 120. They're now clearing 125. We just had a little boy there, Anaya West, who literally cried when he heard that he had to run 1,000 meters because he's really a sprinter. But he just ran 340, which is an excellent time because that gives him like 420 points, and that is an excellent time for him. So I mean, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen these kids, just develop in front of our eyes. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Expectations, obviously, Donna, the expectations for these athletes, you don't want to put too much pressure on them, but you want them to kind of achieve as much as they possibly can.
Well, when we talked to Ms. Clark about the selection of the team, basically our goal was that we take athletes who are competitive. So they had an event, a 2-day event. Ms. Clark had points from Barbados, Bahamas, and she looked at what the children performed at and compared them. And in comparison to Barbados and Bahamas, our athletes will be competitive. So that's why we're sending such a small team, because in reality you can send 2 in each age group, and we're not doing that because we said we want to make sure that these athletes are committed to this. Ms. Clark had advised us, that these athletes are out there training day in and day out. So when it came to the selection process, it was only athletes that were committed to this event, and also the performance will make them competitive at this event. So we're quite pleased with the 5 athletes that have been chosen. I looked at them today, and I congratulate Ms. Clark and Mr. Maxwell, who has been working with these athletes, because we definitely see some good performances. We also have a lot of persons that have jumped on board to help us financially, and we want to say thank you to all of and anyone that has helped us in any way to get this team out of Bermuda. The event is in Trinidad, so you could imagine that is a costly venture, whether it's 1 athlete, 2 athletes, 5 athletes. So we're very, very grateful for the assistance, financial assistance that we have received. So we're pleased. This is an event that I think is very important. We've competed in this event several years. As you know, we've even had a winner in this event, Jordan Bascom. Last event, I think Sakaya Lewis placed in the top 3. So for me, this is a very important event because, number one, it helps you to find out what is an athlete's best event. Also, I think we're finding that we have a couple of heptathletes that when we have Carifta in Bermuda 2020, we may have some heptathletes. I looked at Sancho this morning. We will have heptathletes. I looked at Sancho doing the hurdles this morning, and fantastic. I mean, he went over there hurdles like he's been doing hurdles for a couple of years. So for me, this is a positive, and I think this is something that we continue. And I said to Ms. Clark, as soon as the information came out about the age group championship, we need to send a team, because I think this is a very important development meet. Usain Bolt started at this meet, and look where he is today.
You said something that I gotta ask. So have you been informed that we will be hosting the 2020 Carifta Games?
We still haven't had confirmation yet, but I'm just going on the fact that we will get 2020.
Okay. I had to ask.
That's fine.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay.
Tyler.
USA, England.
Let's do with the top of the podium.
Tyler Butterfield. Ironman, 70.3.
He's the one. I think we keep losing.
Swimming, riding, and running that long.
It's close to 4 hours, I believe. 3:53, something like that.
Yeah.
We are actually running out of words to keep talking about his accomplishments.
Yeah.
And it's hard to throw this word out for me when we talk about sports. It's great. And great for me is being good at a consistent time.
Yes.
Being relevant for a long period of time. Because we have good players, we have good riders, we have good athletes, but to stay consistent over a period of time, that's when you start getting into that realm of great.
Yeah.
I won't put him there yet, but he's on the verge, because now you start looking at his career and what he's accomplished. And this is a sport. Your team, from your nutritionist and your back people, your therapist and all of that. But on the day, it's you.
Yep.
Besides the bike,
right?
But it's basically you out there, and to see what he's accomplished, not just in home soil, not just in United States, but globally.
Yep.
He's traveled the four corners of this earth, doing what he loves and being successful over a period of time. And that's where I say that word is he's starting to creep for me. Now others will have a different opinion, but for me, he's starting to creep.
Greatness.
Yeah.
Well, then there's that other Tyler.
Wow, this one, he's good.
He's creeping, knocking at that door.
He's good.
What you're talking about greatness, he'll eventually open that door.
Yes.
But he's going to take that in stride.
Yeah.
He competed in the UK Elite Junior National Championships. It's an event that they use for the qualifiers for other events. But to finish third amongst the best junior elite
in
the UK,
yes,
is a remarkable achievement for him. And obviously, being in the school he's in with some of the top European triathletes that the world has seen over the last few years, that's something he's feeding off of, and it's going well for him.
Yeah, we talked about the same scenario with the dailies in swimming, being based a lot in Canada, competing a lot in Canada, competing on some of Canada's elite swimmers in the age, and what it's done for them competition-wise. Always, tough competition. Sometimes you got to leave these waters to go find that competition, i.e. Tyler Butterfield. Flora Duffy.
Yes.
And now we're talking, these are world-class athletes.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith, we've seen potential, but sometimes they need to see how far that potential could take them. Yeah. And now you're starting to see some of these fruits from labor. And you know, obviously in this type of sport, there's so much. You just talked about it. So much work you got to do before you get on the race course.
Yeah.
And along with that, his studies.
Yeah.
Because remember, he didn't run the May 24th Classic because he was taking an exam. So we're talking about 2 weeks ago. So how much time are you really focusing on training when you're preparing for an exam?
That's right.
And to come third, just imagine if he had all the time to focus on this event.
He could have run 24 for May, won that, and then go on to, yeah.
So to Tyler, congrats.
Yeah. Well, you brought up the sport, and I'm just going to go piggyback off of that, and that's the sport of swimming. Yesterday, national coach Ben Smith announced the CCCAN team that will represent Bermuda. It is the Carifta team plus one. Brought into the team is Shannon Hassel, but we remember what that Carifta team was able to do. This competition will be similar to that with the similar athletes, but you're also including the South Americans in the field. But Ben is encouraged by the times that these youngsters are doing and coming off some positive results, not only at Carifta, but then we came back and they had the Schroeder's Long Course Championships, then the National Championships, and we've seen that level of competition stay and even get a little better. So I had a chance to speak with the national coach Ben Smith about the team and his expectations for this particular meet. So let's get that interview with Ben Smith. Well, national coach Ben Smith, CCCAN Games coming up very fast upon us. Obviously, team selection after the national championship, the 4-day national championships at the National Sports Center. But first of all, can we get a rundown of those who will represent Bermuda in the games?
Well, so really what we have is our Carifta team plus Shannon Hassel. So obviously what we were looking for was a team of swimmers that were already swimming fast, and we set a really high standard. So the Carifta team, we had a couple of the young swimmers that had to kind of get a higher standard since Carifta, and they were able to achieve that. So with 16 swimmers going into this championship and everybody kind of preparing really well with the results that we've had after Carifta, we're really excited about what's going to happen next.
Are you kind of nervous because you going back to the Caribbean? You have an axe on your back. Not only you, the coach, but some of our swimmers.
Most definitely. What we have seen in previous years is that if we have good results from Carifta, you can't take that as what's going to happen at the next championship, because people will then say, okay, well, if they swam that time, I'm going to have to put this kind of time in. So that's kind of the message we've been giving to our swimmers, is that we can't take anything for granted. We have to continue to work hard and work on some of the details that maybe didn't go exactly as we thought they should at Carifta, so that when we get there, we're prepared. Because obviously with the Carifta region just being within the Caribbean, and now CCCAN, we're adding the Central American countries and some of the South American countries, I know that the competition level will be much higher. A lot of the Carifta teams will actually select the swimmers for CCCAN by taking their finalists from Carifta. So it's going to be, the depth is all going to be quality. So it's going to be exciting for them. I know that a lot of them are looking forward to being able to be in this Trinidad pool, which is a brand new facility, and obviously it has a roof over it. So that's a change from what we're used to. So there's a lot of excitement building towards these kind of different opportunities that they're going to have.
Over the 4 days of the national championships, what's some of the things that surprised you, good and bad, from some of the swimmers?
Well, so one of the things that was different this year was the amount of long course swimming that we've actually had. So we finished Carifta, which was obviously a multiple day competition, and then we returned and we did Schroeder's, which was a multiple day long course competition, and then we had Nationals, which was once again multiple day long course competition. So what we're looking for is to be giving these young athletes some experience of doing championship swimming, heats and finals, long course. Obviously having the facility here has allowed us to do those things. Some of the swimmers that came back from Carifta and swam significantly faster at Schroeder's. That was one thing, but there was also some really good quality at nationals, some people lowering times. So with the hard work that we've been doing, you can see that they're still able to kind of press the button and get a faster time, which is always encouraging.
Obviously, this team has traveled before. What's some of the things you're looking to make sure that they're in the best mindset to compete against? Now you're adding in, like you said, the South Americans and so forth. So they're going to be looking at times. So what are you doing as coaches to ensure that they're only concentrating on what they need to do to be fast?
Well, so really, a lot of what's been going on now is kind of detail oriented, going into the specifics of the particular events that they're going to swim. We always like to tell them that you can only focus on the event that you're going to do next. Swimming is interesting where, if you're in track, you might be focusing on the 100 meters and that's only going to be the only event that you're going to do, where we have swimmers that are going to be swimming 12 different events that vary in distance and the stroke that you're going to have to do. So it's kind of focusing on how you're pushing off the wall, the streamlines, the start. It's those details that at this point are going to make the difference between potentially, making a final or potentially getting a medal or record. So that's what we've been harping on, and they've been taking it in, and you can see the focus on that attention. It's always difficult this time of year because they're also balancing school and exams and all the other things that happen when you're getting close to the end of school. So we've been mindful of that, making sure that they're getting enough rest and kind of the support that it takes to get them prepared.
Well, as we get closer, we'll get back with you to see how training's going and before you board the flight.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Jay, last week I had an opportunity, or I was invited to a presentation, a very special presentation for a gentleman who has ties with 4 local clubs throughout his career, and that's Harold Medeiros. Back in the day, everyone knew Harold, sound goalkeeper, discipline, and he's carried on in that vein. They've gotten together and had a fundraiser for him to help with medical expenses, and I was happy to be around the fact that I was invited to that particular presentation. Your thoughts on, because I know you've seen some of the coverage of the presentation and what they're trying to accomplish between those 4 particular clubs.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, you look at what somebody's put into a sport, what somebody's done, put in time within the clubs, and then the clubs actually appreciate what he's done, especially when it's in time of need. Kudos number 1 to the clubs. Well, kudos go to the Medeiros family, because sometimes they had to sacrifice his time while he's out there playing for those clubs. And you can see, the relationships that he's built. And I'm pretty sure if you ask Mr. Medeiros if that's why he went to play that sport or why he went to that club, that's like, no, that was, he went to play competitive football. Out of that came these relationships and came these lifelong relationships. Whether somebody's on the side that you don't probably see or hear, they can appreciate what you've done for them, for the entertainment value, but also for the community and the club. And when you see these clubs come together, that is the true nature of sport. What sport does, sport brings people together. It's a language that many people can speak per se, and it crosses all barriers. And we're talking diversity in sports. I mean, here's a prime example: diversity in clubs. And they've coming together for one goal. And I think if we could just take this to the, and keep spreading this, because this has happened many times before, right? You see a lot of former players get into medical difficulties, and you see the clubs pitching in. But when you see this, you will hope that more clubs can start looking back at some of the players and start reaching out to say, where are they now? Are they? Because sometimes some older players, and just older people in general, the pride doesn't want anybody to come help them, or even know that they're in need.
In need, that's right.
In need. So it can be a struggle for them personally, but I think that's something that we talked about. We're seeing a couple of clubs now actually starting to build an internal Hall of Fame. Honoring former players, not waiting until they pass. And we're encouraging every club to look back at their history, because it also helps builds value for the youngsters who are coming through.
Get to know who they are, who built what they have.
Who built what they have. So once again, kudos to all 4 clubs.
Yes.
And we wish you all the best, Mr. Medeiros.
Well, let's get the track presentation from last week. Yeah. All right. So we ready? Yes, sir. Okay. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome to this presentation. When Harold, one of our former players, fell into hard times, we naturally got together with the BAA, Vasco, Devonshire Scouts, and Young Men's Social Club. Those are teams that he represented. And we felt that we would do all we can to help our friend Harold. And we've had the golf football match and raffles. And Harold, on behalf of the Devonshire Scouts, the BAA, Vasco, and Young Men's Social Club, we would like to present you with this check as a gratitude for all you did for us and the little that we have been able to do for you. Hopefully it will carry you through just a little bit further. But
I want to thank all the social club, mainly of the committee of Nolan Walker, John Payne, Sad Brown, Pinks Lewis, Miles, the Shields, Mal Lewis, and everybody else, and my mate Mackie Simmons, I forgot him. And I really, really appreciate all that they have done in organizing the football, the golf, and everything else. And I really, really appreciate them doing this for me. I don't know what else to say, but thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'd just like to, on behalf of JetBlue, say thank you for allowing us to be a part of this program to generate some support for Harold. And it's a pleasure to be a part of such a group of outstanding people in the community that have come together to help someone in need and to recognize their brother in arms. So on behalf of JetBlue, we wish you well, Harold, and very glad that we were able to be a part of this program.
Well, Jay, on Sunday, the Bermuda national team departed, heading to Grenada for their friendly match. Unfortunately, there had to be a late change, given an injury to one of the players. They've brought in a youngster, Rosaire Jones, who is applying his trade over in the UK, back home for a break, was actually training with the team, and quickly the coaching staff, once the injury occurred, brought him into the fold. But they're now putting the final touches on that preparation for that Grenada match. But a lot of young players in this team, and I think the fact that we have this opportunity to play a friendly match, I think Coach Bascom and Lightbourne will be looking to ensure that the youngsters get this international exposure.
Yeah, we've seen it now the last couple of games, especially when they have the friendly games up in National Stadium. They're very much committed to open door policy, and we can say that with the BFA over the last 15 years when it comes to the national squad.
Right.
We've seen that with these two, the coaching staff they have now. They are very committed to players in all different divisions, which we hadn't seen.
That's right. Yeah.
And now this is starting to become a norm, and that's when we, okay, all right. But now we're starting to see this become a norm. But also again to see how some of these UK-based players gel.
Yeah.
Even though they probably started out playing with a lot of these guys, now they're planning to trade overseas, getting some different coaching, different teaching, different styles. But to have them come back and number one, want to play for the island, which is very important, but also gel with the team, and you're seeing the coaches work very hard. Now, I would say a little bit easier trying to get in contact with, because obviously you can get footage through technology now. You can stream some of the games and all that, so they can do a little bit of homework without going over there to actually go see them.
Right.
But now when you get this opportunity, what do you do with it? And this is where now the youngsters can't say, well, I'm never going to play any, I'm trained, but I'm never going to play. Well, here's an opportunity to show what your worth is.
Yeah. Well, we're going to end today's show with speed.
Speed.
Trey Houston
10
competed.
seconds. I'm still, it's hard for me to say, yeah, come 10 seconds, any day is over.
100 meters.
That's a good bit of work, isn't it? 10 seconds.
Well, but he had to do it twice because he had to qualify.
Okay, 20 seconds.
But that's a 20 hard 20 seconds.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, but Trey Houston.
He was in Grenada, qualified for the finals of the men's 100, finishing third in Heat 2. Then went into the final, finishing 7th. Well, Jay, that's it for the Tuesday edition of the Digicel Sports Show. It's been several mouthfuls.
I work more than 10 seconds today.
Well, what else is there to say other than Bermudians continue to impress not only us here locally but overseas, and we're looking forward to some positive results come the next show and next weekend with several other events going on. But for now,
well, look, before you get there, just one quick message to all the Bermudians around the world who does stream the show. Get to see it on YouTube. Please let us know if you know of any Bermudians out there who's not here, who's representing in whatever sport it is. Just like we're following Marcus Scotland, who's 14 years over in the UK. Let us know about it, because we are willing to show what they're doing, not only for themselves, but also as a proud Bermudian.
Yes, indeed. Well, from me, Earl Baston.
And me, proud to be Bermudian Jay.
Have a good night from the Digicel Sports Show. All right.